Hello, good evening everybody to the WABCOWÜRTH Web Event. Nice that you have found the time to be here. So, with what start we?
Well, I would suggest you start maybe with our little beautiful diagnose box.
Just because it's lying here. Okay.
Introduce our diagnose box and how we can connect to our truck.
I'll step a little bit forward so it's easier for the cameraman to get the focus on it. That's our vehicle communication interface, the WASY box 2.0. Capabilities, it's an OBD cable, a long OBD cable mounted on the box. So for a car, for a truck, you probably don't need this large size of cable. But imagine a bus on where the plugs can sit somewhere in the vehicle. It could be very helpful to have a longer cable to keep the box on a visual place. So you see always the communication between the laptop and the box. Why is this important? The box itself has a lightning ring surrounding it and indicates via different colors the status, what is happening. An introduction on the colors, you will see it on the back. So the first one, white, box is powered. If the box stays dark, you can be sure you will not make any kind of diagnosis. Blue means the box is communicating towards the laptop. It could be via Bluetooth, it could be via USB cable, it also could be via Wi-Fi. So that's, I think, a topic which could be interesting for one or other person. Wi-Fi is available in two different modes. One, we call it the ad hoc mode, means the box itself generates the Wi-Fi signal on which the laptop can connect towards the box. The second mode is the normal mode, let's say, to connect the box via a router, which you have in your workshop, maybe, where the laptop as well is connected to. So in that case, it's easy going. Plug in the box somewhere inside of the field of the Wi-Fi. You have the laptop somewhere else, and there is almost no limitation about the distance between box and laptop. What else do we have? Green indicates the box is communicating towards the vehicle. Yellow or orange, record. Inside of the VCI, we have a flight recorder function. That means we are able to log data without a connected laptop. So the box writes autonomous with the vehicle and registers or records the data inside of the box, which will be started with the record button. It's visible, nice. So just click the button. Previously, sure, you have to set up the flight recorder, which data you will record. Afterwards, you start this function inside of the vehicle and you can make your test drive. You are not disturbed with your laptop on your lap, looking at the same time while you are driving. That's not good. Also, you don't need a second mechanic, one driving and the second one on the passenger seat looking the data on the laptop. It's something for safety. Okay, what else about the box?
The box is valid for 12 and 24 volt. This may be also interesting information.
Yeah, that's right. So it can be used also in the passenger cars. There is the possibility to combine the WOW diagnostic system with the WASY diagnostic system. So for the big cars, for the small cars, with only one device. The last slide, red. Okay, red indicates that. If the red light is on, the box is not working.
Or if it's blinking, yeah, we run out of power from the vehicle, and the box notices it and warns us that we need to charge our vehicle to have a concrete diagnosis.
Exactly. Also, talking about power, on the left-hand side, you see the little battery logo. It's a little hard to see. There are 3 more little LEDs built in. They are indicating the status of the charge of the battery. So if only 1 is on, be prepared, you need a charger. 2 means battery is okay. 3, probably engine is running. So more or less, that's the indication. Beside that, there was a Wi-Fi indicator. It indicates on which Wi-Fi mode the box is working, ad hoc or inside of the system. Okay, something else towards the box? 1? Yeah.
Maybe the flashlight, just to mention this as well at the plug-in.
Sorry,
it's also,
I forgot.
Sometimes
Inside,
it's dark, yeah, at the bottom of the truck to find the OBD plug, and with a little helper, makes it simpler.
I have a little story. On one hand, you have the plug. On the second hand, you lift up the flap of your OBD socket, and where you have your flashlight, normally in the mouth. But if it was once lying in oily surface, the taste is not good anymore.
So you've had the experience with it so far, as I can hear.
Believe me, it tastes really bad.
Okay. Well, we come up now on our device, on our computer, on our laptop that we are running our software with. This laptop is a rugged book, so it's really tough and sustainable for a workshop. This one is now coming from Panasonic, so quite a reference as we have. The devices are also used from OE on their diagnose. So a very, very recommended laptop. The laptop is an open device, so you can put other software as well on top. If you want to drive your regular workshop software on it, you can do so. The device is military proven. We have an SSD drive inside, and yeah, what else shall I say to this computer?
What is interesting compared to a no-name computer maybe could be the information, the Bluetooth device and the Wi-Fi device, the antenna for it is built in surrounding the screen. So we have a really big antenna in there. In that case, you probably know it, you have a greater distance, a better stability for connection. If you just use the Bluetooth dongle, okay, you are very limited.
Battery, if charged, reaches out for 8 hours use, so also quite a significant use.
It's possible to buy additional batteries, so you can increase the time from 8 to what is the second battery is a little bit smaller. I think it's something around 12 hours. It's not 16, it's 12 hours running time. And I think anyway, it should be enough time to run it without connected to the power outlet in the house.
The best feature on this computer I've not mentioned yet. The best feature is WABCOWÜRTH services it. So in case you have an issue with this device, any Windows issues or driver issues with Bluetooth or something else, we service you this computer very fast and very easy, because our experts know about the system and they can easily fix the system and maybe return it to you or fix it via diagnose on remote.
It's proved by IP51. The 5 means it's protected against dust. So 5 is a very high level. 6 would be, it's absolutely no dust coming in, but somehow you need airflow through the machine to cool it. So it's not totally closed. And the 1 means that's the degree of water resistance, on which angle, how many water can approach to the device. So I know a former sales rep. He took always a little glass of water and put it on the keyboard.
Spoiled it, yeah.
And yeah, underneath it, the water comes out. And as long as you don't turn it, everything is fine and the machine still runs.
So meaning spoil your coffee, but don't drink sugar.
Or if you have sugar, put more water on it.
So flush it through. Okay.
It's not proof against gluing.
Good. The keys are lasered, this as well. So if you type in with greasy fingers, the letters won't disappear. So you can ensure that you read out the letters in the next years.
Even cleaning it up with brake cleaner.
Yes, is resistant. I suggest we jump in the software. As soon.
Yes, it's okay. We can take the boxes a little bit
Great.
later, no problem.
Okay, we start with the software. We have opened up the software, and this is now the starting screen. As you can see here at the bottom, you have different types of the vehicle, starting from the transporter over to the trailer, to the truck, to the bus, and also to the OBD, EOBD diagnosis, as well as that you have a little history that you can click on and see the latest trucks that you have been on to. We start first with the identification of the truck. In this case, we have a TGX, MAN TGX here with us, and this TGX we will diagnose today. We have different possibilities now to start searching for our TGX. So we have a little drop down over here where you can go to MAN. As you can see here, several different manufacturer of vehicle. Further on, you can go, I just choose the Mercedes. I will just go back in the next steps, and you can go over to Sprinter or whatever you want to. The easiest way in our diagnose, as I think it is not to go with the drop down, because this is actually a key function in our software. It is the power search, and the power search makes your life easier. As our software says, it's the WABCOWÜRTH, and we take it easy. We just type in TGX. So this is the type, and as you can see in a drop down, the manufacturing year, we have a TGX older than 14, and we just jump into it. And
also, if it's a known vehicle, for example, that you already know where the plug is, you can previously also plug in the VCI, and via pressing the VIN button, the system by itself will read out the VIN number and give you a smaller list of possible vehicles. Why do I ask possible vehicles? If you know it from the car software, a VIN identifier, you have put one VIN number in it, and only one vehicle should jump out, which could be possible. If we are talking from trucks, respective from buses, it's possible that one manufacturer is using a chassis from Mercedes, but building up a bus on it. So the brand is, I don't know, Dolphin, but it's a Mercedes Sprinter, which we use for diagnosis. So that's the possibility why you could see more than one vehicle after the automatic VIN search. Sorry.
Yeah. So after we have defined our vehicle, we need to connect our WABCOWÜRTH box to our software. So in this case, we have this little plug position over here, and we just jump in the screen, type in, and we get guided to the OBD plug. So as you can see here, step by step, opening up where you find your OBD. I can show you if you work with foreign trucks and you don't know where the OBD is, you can easily spend 20 minutes by searching just an OBD. I have made this experience by myself, and I can say that I'm glad to have this function in our software, because in this case, it's again simplifies your life here.
Absolutely.
Great. So now we have the WABCOWÜRTH box that we plug in the OBD. As soon as this is done, we can go over and start to get into the truck. So we have two buttons on the left side, systems and functions. Those are the buttons where I communicate with the truck. The buttons down, service tasks and vehicle data, are informational data that I can get about the truck. So in this case, we start with a function because I want to do a system identification. We start the system identification in a demo because the TGX is shrink a little bit to a TGE. And since we would like to show you truck diagnose today, we start now our demo. We have two versions to go with, the quick scan and the normal scan. The normal scan gives you the variety of all the systems that we have in such a series of a TGE.
Which could be built in by
Could be built in, exactly. Quick scan is then already stored at the truck, the information, which ones are set up, and we can read out the truck faster because we know then already we have a list of identification of the systems. And
we receive the data from the vehicle itself.
Exactly.
That's the reason why the quick scan should be faster than the normal scan. There's no need to scan 50 variants of possibilities, only one variant which is built in fact.
And you suggest to start with a quick scan, right?
Yes, please.
So we go for it.
Too much time.
The good thing is, while the quick scan is now starting and running, we have the possibility to jump also in different functions of the truck. We can meanwhile check the system. We can check the fault codes in this case. So we have the numbers here, and we can read out our fault codes and prepare already the next step that we want to do while the scanning is still running.
Exactly, and that's, I think, a big advantage towards other systems.
Yes.
Because you save time.
Yeah, and as you can see here on the top bottom, we have different tabs opened up. And if you have sometimes a truck where the scan takes a little longer, you could also go in the service tasks and read out already service papers, yeah, to check out, okay, what do I have to do now? Or go into vehicle data to check out where is the system that I want to go onto. Yeah, so if I have a rough idea where the fault could be.
As I have seen already the fault code and a small description about it, I could think to prepare the schematics for it in advance. Exactly. As I know it could be electrical problem. So yes, for electrical problem, I need the wiring diagram. So I prepared that also.
Exactly. The system gives us the information that the scan, the system identification is concluded. Also a good information. Some competitors don't have it. And so you're guessing now if the scan is over or not. We give you a clear answer with our system. We are done.
And we save it.
Exactly. We save now the protocol. And as you can see up, our data bank opens up, and we can identify then our truck, the scan. We can type in the license plate that we have here. And we give you the webinar as a reference. Here you could type in a job description or job title that you have done, yeah, so that you can put this into. Okay, you can save it under your client as well. If you have different clients coming in your workshop, just prepare a client selection and you can identify all the scans and trucks of your client specifically at the client. We'll save it now. Usually when we have a truck in a live mode, we get the identification number as well, and some of them give us the mileage as well. Not all of them, but most of them. So therefore, we have other indicators of our truck. Good. At that point, I would hand over the software to you, and you jump into the systems.
If it's necessary, I will do so.
Yes, our participants want to see today our software and not just your pretty face. So.
Oh, thank you very much. Okay. Well, I could go from the scan into a system directly. I just clean up the screen a little bit. You're able to open 4 screens at the same time. That's also something very nice from our system, and switch between them however you want. The diagnostic communication will not be interrupted. It's always connected. So I'll take the second way of how to make a diagnosis. Customer comes, I have some problems with the engine, for example. Okay, maybe it's not needed to make a full scan for it. Maybe just take a look into the engine system itself. So I'm in the engine, and I see here already a little block towards this engine. I have access to the component list. I open it. Also, I have access to the test values. Maybe you have seen the little red information button. If I click on that, I have also, on an easy way, all things which are binded towards the EDC 17 system.
Yeah, a new function now coming up with the new software 2.0.
Since 2.0, yeah.
Exactly, nice feature.
That's right. It makes the life easier for the mechanic. No need to search somewhere in the deep file systems.
Yes.
Just you got the function within a click what you are searching for. So, for example, here we have a schematic. Searching for a fault code indicating, I don't know, oil pressure sensor.
For example,
it's broken. For example, okay, inside of the schematic, I see it's 3 pages. We are on page 1. Which damn logo or symbol is the oil pressure sensor? No idea. So I go to the drop-down list, highlight the oil pressure sensor. Oh, it's on this page.
And marked in red.
Yeah, it's marked in red. I go with the mouse over. I have a little information about it. It's marked. So the 2 buttons on the right, info and log for location, are the informations and locations towards this sensor. So first important thing, where it's built in.
In the truck.
Yeah.
Nicely pictured, exactly.
Yeah. So there where the red dot is, that should be the location where the sensor is sitting.
And guess what? You can spend a lot of time searching for such a sensor
That's
as well.
Absolutely right. Via the info, I have a close-up picture of the sensor itself, how it looks like. Again, the location where it sits, and nevertheless, I have information graph on which pressure, which voltage should I measure. So I think I have the basic information about that sensor, which I need to repair it.
Yeah, and the good thing on the scheme, you can see the pinning as well.
Exactly.
So with identifying the pinning, you can easily check out with your voltmeter.
What I had in questions in the previous sessions, why do we not indicate cable colors? Why do we not indicate cable numbers?
Yeah, it's OE specific, and so therefore it differs from one to another.
Exactly.
And we agreed to go with the number of the pinning, so that at the end the mechanic understands, okay, where do I start with and where do I end with my pinning?
That's the easiest way. I don't need to take a look about numbers or colors. If I know the pinning, then I know where to hook up my measuring pins of my multimeter, of my oscilloscope, depending on the unit which I'm measuring, and I know for sure what I'm measuring here. Okay, what else do we have? Engine system, component list. I just go quickly through it. Fuel pressure sensor, there's an info button available, clicking on it. So, oh, it looks similar like the oil pressure sensor. As we see, the location is different and the pressure versus voltage values are different as well. So we have also here the proper information.
Maybe you just go on the left side with our software through the systems now, that you can step in to the system that you want right away in case you have a specific need where you want to go. So you have different ways of how to get into the system of the truck. You could also type it in at the power search at the beginning, but if you're already in the truck, you can easily go via systems onto the brake, the engine, the gearbox, whatever ones.
Let's call it on that way. As we have it for the vehicle selection, drop-down lists available. One person prefers that way. The next one prefers the VIN search. The next one prefers the power search. So it's your decision, dear customer. Choose the way you prefer. We offer a lot of possibilities. You will end up on the place you are looking for.
Yes, and even though if you don't know which system your job has to be done now, if you know what kind of job you want to do, meaning, for example, if you want to calibrate, for example, something, you just go into the functions. You can jump in the functions, and as you can see here, you find also different possibilities to go into your system.
That's also a possibility. You know what you would like to calibrate. Camera, for example. In that case, click on the button and the system will guide you to the proper position where you will find this function. What I would show real quick is a little highlight function we have. I'm in the fault memory at the moment. This is an intermittent failure. So the fault code number is the same fault code number like the OE has. So yes, if you encounter a failure which you can't handle, I'm sure everybody of you has a friend working on an OE dealer. So one works on MAN, one on Mercedes, one on Volvo, etc. Give him a call. Can you tell me what is the problem on this fault code? And he will help you for sure.
And if you don't have such a friend, go to the great internet, just type it in, and you will get a variety of answers, and maybe something will suit.
Sorry that we are over timing a little bit. Just to finish up this little function, the freeze frame data is indicated here. And if your system is connected online, then you have the possibility to use the smart guide as well. So for example, towards this fault code, you receive here the possible causes. So it could be 50% the sensor, 50% the canvas.
That doesn't mean now that we have 100% and you have the failure. So there are still several possibilities in between. Yeah, just to avoid any misunderstanding here in our webinar.
These numbers will change from time to time as we receive feedback from the customers about this fault code, what have you repaired, and we will update these numbers as well.
Exactly.
The other important thing or nice thing, the component testing, as it was a NOx sensor failure. So I go here to the test function of the NOx sensor and I receive, without opening the schematics, the wiring diagrams, directly about this NOx sensor. How is the pinning? How does the socket looks like? What should I measure on which pins? And additional informations. So a quick answer for these type of questions.
So, and if you're done with your jobs and you have saved all your protocols and everything is documented on the computer, you can jump into your memory and can easily read out all your scans and everything that you have done, so that you get an answer about, or that you can protocol the job that you have done, and you can turn it over.
Exactly. I just open it from the database. That's the vehicle, the scan we previously saved.
On the right side, you see the date and the time scale, also important, so that you can identify when was the scan done or when was the calibration done or whatever was done. It's everything documented with the date and the time.
Thank you very much that you have joined us here today. I know it was very quick, not too much things, just a quick overview.
Yeah, a rough in-view of our EASY, and this is, I think, what we wanted to give you as an introduction in EASY, handling software to make diagnose on your vehicles. I say thank you from my side as well. Thank you for the participation, and yeah, we'll hope to see you soon again.